And I've been warning people. I said, look, don't be coming out here trying to label everything that's not what you believe as hate speech. It has adverse effects. It's going to come back to haunt you because then they can censor that or justify why they're censoring something or doing some type of manipulation to get you to stop. And here we are at that point. You are looking at what the New World Order is.
The
This is just a
New
small
World
part.
Order
But the thing I'm saying is, it
is,
affects everybody. And
according
you see, they don't
to
seem too happy. Oh,
Red Silver J. So, got my one viewer. It's all good. It's all good, yo. What up, Freddy? What up, man? You should come on. I don't even know how to make this so that maybe there's a key that I can grab. But, let's see. Share. How do I friggin'. I'm doing an undercover stream. I'm basically trying to leech some new subscribers off of failing Alex Jones going terminal. So I'm LARPing as pro Trump and pro Alex Jones for today, just to be the guy, the replacement channel that Alex Jones wishes he had on YouTube. He's got all those people working for him. He must be paying those slathers and all these people like at least 50 grand US a year. So, they're all on paid vacations right now, man. You can't see your channels. Hey, boss still got to pay you. He doesn't just send you home and break his contract so that you can go and talk about everything he told you in private. How do I, uh, how do I even comment? Let's see, how can I get a, bubbles, bubbles, boom, boom. Yeah, I saw that video you did about Lift the Veil, and I mean, I could talk about that a little bit. The fact of the matter that our the reliable Scooby Doom called in to Lift the Veil's show. I mean, the guy's spending long distance money to call across international phone call into this guy's clown show. So I mean, if you got a call in show on YouTube and people are calling in from England, well, at least you're taking the calls. It wasn't a topic that these guys want to talk about because it's pretty gruesome, it's pretty disgusting, and everybody doesn't want to be associated to it. So I understand. And it is pretty sad that nobody stands up for these things, but you don't have stand up kind of people in the Pizzagate. These are not these are not the kind of people that run into buildings and save babies out of cribs. And the firemen show up 10 minutes later and they got three babies out on the yard. No, this is not Pizzagate Fire Brigade. These people are not really putting their neck out. They're really trying to get a channel or trying to get a career on YouTube according to the YouTube model and to what Alex Jones needs. And as for Lift the Veil, I mean, God bless him. I know DeFango recently said in a video that Lift the Veil paid him, or sorry, it was a Christmas video where DeFango said that Lift the Veil paid him to go on Lift the Veil's show, and or to go on DeFango's show, and DeFango mentioned how that was the best $50 he ever spent or something. So Lift the Veil, all these shows have the same model as Richie from Boston, which is basically if you want to get on their show and you give them $500, they'll do a half-hour show with you. And DeFango's a little cheaper, because he had that Pride Festival he had to get to. So, $50 to get on the show, and away you go. So half of these people, I mean, they will have anybody on their show that has $500. So they're not really, they're not really investigative journalists at this point. You're more looking at lighter versions of, let's say, a TV show of very, very B-rated, even C-rated TV, so that other people believe that it's just a regular guy operating a regular YouTube channel. But they're operating their channels in the hopes that Alex Jones and his squad of about 200 clowns that roam around YouTube, scraping ideas and feeding information to people. Well, he just hopes that those people call him up like they did to Unirock. That's all. So the Cappy story, that's just a prime example of why channels, and then when they get bigger, which is what they're all trying to do with each other, once they get big enough, I mean, it's pretty much ridiculousness. I mean, look at the stuff that Richie puts on his show. He puts on the Fullerton Informer, Rachel Reinstratz. These are people that have money that want a YouTube exposure, and that's what these people are selling at now. So you you get what you pay for. I think it's true that they're under a lot of pressure over there. They're sweating subscribers like DeFango was back on May 9th, when he was down 1566. 15666, yeah, that was it. But, YouTube's a small place, and once you know everything about everyone, hell, and you start ratting them out like DeFango did, well, I guess they bring you back on board and offer you another go, another round at the carousel. So, as for calling in overseas, what a great guy, man. I hope it didn't cost him too much money. I know that when I called Craig Sawyer, it cost me $50 to call him 3 times. That clown that never returned my call. And then he called Lift the Veil, which is what Lift the Veil does. He's basically a catcher's mitt. He's like the guy that they know is not going to trip them up. Like, they could put Corsi on his show. They could put anyone on his. They could put Rebecca Roth on his show. He's not going to trip them up. He's going to let them speak and tell their story. And then he's going to have a little bit of banter and commentary so that he can say he's still a twofer. But the reality is that he's not investigating anything for you guys, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but people should stop watching these, these shows and make their own content. And then, people won't gravitate towards them for information, because what happens is that if you don't say anything about Alex Jones and all the operations that he's been doing for the last, since all these operations, they never call him out. He always gets to reset and come back. And so eventually it gets worse and worse and worse. And now we got the Alex Jones's censorship. Like, every time Alex Jones does something big, like the last time he left YouTube, he opened a studio and he became like a TV show. It used to just be a YouTube channel with the guy in behind, with a couple screens, and it became a mega plant with like a project with like 5 different teams of reporters doing like 3, 4 different shows in one building with like sets that cost like $600,000, man. I mean, give me a break. And it's all so now that Alex Jones is. I mean, you guys do realize that when you're partnered with YouTube and you're as big as Alex Jones and you're getting $1 million checks from YouTube, you also can afford to hire lawyers, and you have business partnership agreements. It's not the same as when you have 10,000 subscribers. When you've been on YouTube, like you're not gonna just terminate Alex Jones, and he's part of that, man. Give me a break. That's like saying that like he's in the dark, and there's people at YouTube and Snapchat that are working against him. Like, give me a break. A huge force behind news on the internet is Alex Jones, and the fact that he had people looking at podcasts originally when, it doesn't matter if people don't want to give him any credit. Even I came to YouTube originally watching Alex Jones and Pete Santilli and garbage like that, you know. So I was just interested in the creators and how they were freaks and how could people act so crazy and get away with it. And then so don't blame me if you see some of my videos and you're like, whoa, why is he doing that? Oh, this is YouTube, man. And the example that's given on this platform is that pretty much people do the craziest things and with no almost no consequence. So don't hate the player, hate the game, and that's why I kind of don't feel that bad when I am explaining to people about an avatar and the character behind the avatar. It doesn't bother me to expose people in that sense that are hardcore YouTubing scammers. I don't care. It's not like I'm doing a service to the internet and to the community. So Nate was deflecting. Yeah, we saw that. Freddie did a pretty good video where and God bless Scooby Doom, man, calling in from overseas. That probably cost him $15 to make that phone call. So you can't sit there and say that these people, you know, that we don't love children, that we don't have hearts, that these are the ones, they're the saviors of the kid. Listen, for 2 years I've been watching these clowns raise and collect money and talk about kids in those terrible scenarios, and I to a point where it's just beyond ridiculous. It's actually that's what's happened is they just went too far with their BS and didn't help no kids, and now 2 years in, you just have to bring up the fact that not one of you knows one child's name that you helped. So that's not how helping kids goes. When you help kids, man, you might help or save someone, a kid. You might, you're definitely going to remember the instance. It's not just going to be a blank crickets on your live stream. So there's J-Man, a regular contributor to the comment sections globally on YouTube. So J-Man's got a comment. Let's see what it is. Okay, yeah. With the flock. Yeah, well, my best take on the Alex Jones thing is that it's just a way for them to make people realize in the mainstream that they're doing something about this, so that then when censorship starts happening, people say, okay, yeah, this is to help that Alex Jones kind of media doesn't come back, that fake news. This is to prevent that. And that's what it is. And he's not going anywhere. I mean, He's probably doing a show right now. I mean, give me a break. His channels are canceled, and what is his office of? I mean, the building, his office of 200 employees is just they all just went home today, folks. You know, give me a break. Um, I mean, they would probably. Anyways, that's not how partnerships work. That's not how YouTube would treat a partner like Alex Jones. It's like PewDiePie. You think that they're just gonna cancel his? They're just gonna cancel his channel, and it's the guy's got. He already got lots of checks for 10, $12 million. The guy's he's already rich. He can just go to another website. So Alex Jones is YouTube, man. Give me a break. He's got freaking 50 channels on YouTube, and he's got all kinds of clowns that mirror his videos without ads and all kinds of. It's just basically Alex Jones mirroring his own crap. But that was the channel I originally started watching, and prior to 2012, Alex Jones wasn't that bad. He actually wasn't a complete live sellout. He wasn't pro moon landings pre 2012. That was when right before he moved. He went pro moon landing and he left YouTube. But all these people, you'll see, they just pretend to leave. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, AJ's categorized as hate speech. Well, that's not what his wife's lawyer, or it's not what the judge says when he's, he's an actor apparently. But everybody's speech is hate speech. This whole bullying thing is going too far. Like with these people, like they're like, first of all, making a video about your, things that you're doing online. It's not bullying or harassment. And if you're on YouTube and you're holding fundraisers and you're making documentaries and you're writing books and you're leading a movement, you ain't no private, and you famous, man. That's what being famous on YouTube is about. So you don't get to be tight as frost, and then you tell people to arm themselves and go ride the Arizona highways until they find busted out lights, and then go in and TCB. You don't get to do that, and then just you're not responsible for anything else. You're just that's the problem with these people, is they just want to have that. Our dear friend Honeybee especially, she wants off of YouTube. She doesn't even want to be. She was even said herself, I don't even like making videos on YouTube. It's childish. It's, and people fight with each other. And it's like, yeah, YouTube is a pretty crazy place. And doesn't mean that you can just come here and it's not going to be crazy for you. I mean, it's crazy for everyone, man. Maybe it's especially crazy for people that go against the grain anyway. So, and it's crazy. Everyone's version of how it gets crazy is different too. So, it's not a place where you have safe space and then you run around and you call the police and you make police reports that you're being criminally bullied. I mean, just stay off YouTube. And nobody ain't gonna make no videos about you if you ain't holding fundraisers, and even though you're not making videos, the damage is done. You've already raised over $100,000 for a documentary it's pure bogus. And in my opinion, this documentary has become a foundation, and all three of them are pushing their money into the foundation, and they're putting in their taxes that they don't make no money, and the foundation is going to pay them whatever. It's probably paying them a salary, for all we know. But that's how these people operate with their goal. As soon as a GoFundMe starts making 13,000 a day, oh, it becomes a foundation. That's the only criteria, man. If you can get over 10 grand a day, and you can hold that for 30 days, that's $300,000. What don't you guys understand about this BS documentary that people are writing and the BS websites that they're making, and the amount of money that they're declaring to you that they raise being the total amounts and not less than. This is not. These are not. These are not church. And I'm not saying, and even the church people are so. You see what's happened. Church people could easily be misled with greed and with all these other things. So I mean, give me a break. I'm sorry to burst everyone's bubble, but they really figured that YouTube was like the you know people were gonna come on YouTube and join up and march and get together and fix things. Well, yeah, it's more like a place where you you can't fix anything, and then you give up and you go back to whatever people do after they give up on YouTube. I guess they go let's see. I guess they go back probably and start making podcasts. They just get off YouTube altogether and go back to like a radio style podcast garbage. And the whole thing with YouTube and showing your face has been really difficult for the LARPers, because they're, especially these people that have been doing it a lot, they're not believable anymore. I mean, I mean, you got people acting into their 80s. Like, how old is Clinton? I mean, I know there's people 60s on YouTube still trying to act like they're I guess, they're the tough guy. I mean, 60, 65 years old. You give it up, man. Give it up. Because when I'm 60, I will be retired. I won't be on YouTube manipulating kids. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that ever. Never. You know, you don't think that when I came to YouTube I could have just bought a box of fidget spinners and become a millionaire? Give me a break, man. So, let's go over to the chat and see if we got any questions. What topics? YouTube's hurt his feelings. Yeah, Freddy's 666. Don't worry, Freddy. I unsubbed you when you said to unsub.
There as well. I definitely want to thank Mike for giving us an opportunity to participate in the beta program for Real Video. So people can go to real.video and check out all the Crowd the Truth videos that are over there. And that's one way you get to InfoWars all their videos.
Shit, that was like double. Dump Trump. Nah, I don't care. Honestly. Trump. Friggin'. They all losers. Dump Trump, dump Trump. So, just waiting on some. I know I had the Doopy stream out for a second, so there's like 15 minutes of bogus stream where I guess my screen was locked up. And now we're back, baby. Everything's normal. So I'm just waiting on some people to join the stream, and that way I can get some questions. And yeah, I got my tea going in the other room. Let me go get a cup of tea. We'll check out, see what's going on the interwebs. My friends. Yeah, I wonder if I could share. Be interesting. Let me go get tea. One sec. This is good, man. This is gonna be like one of those live streams, like Big Brother style. Like you just get to see like every little part of the daily goings-ons of Canada. Here you have some amazing incense. The Nag Champa. Put this one in the other room. There we go. I tell you, man, it ain't easy It ain't easy. What we'll do, we'll turn this around. There we go. And aha. There we go. It's a screensaver, yo. See, this is how the War Room from Alex Jones is gonna have to be, because they're gonna have to start all over from scratch. And so this is the first attempt at the manual screensaver. Look at that, look at that, look at that. There we go, baby, there we go. So now basically, I can go and do other things, and because of the bubbles, you know, people like my haters are gonna see I'm live streaming. They're gonna get out of bed, man. They're gonna go run down in their basement. They're gonna turn on their computer because they can log into all their sock accounts, and all they're gonna be getting is they're gonna be getting my photo. You see, because here I am here, and then when I kind of like, there we go. I put that guy in. He's filling in for me now. You know, and pretty much I can do anything in the background here. I could be on my other computer watching the internet, seeing what's gonna happen, because it's Tuesday night, and you know, I feel like the Isaac Cappy thing didn't go over too good. They got the Alex Jones thing popping off now, so they're gonna look for some more glory. So there's gonna be something big. Something big's gonna come out, and you know, who do I think's gonna bring out the next big LARP? Well, it's likely gonna be the Alex Jones team. So I'm really liking how this has got. I got this friggin' screensaver, and then I go presto. I got this pretty cool video I made here today, and it's kind of cool.
All of which seem to be very closely associated with people that are bringing baseless lawsuits against me.
Oh, they got baseless lawsuits against the Goodman Team Goodman. Who's this in the chat? Who's this? Scooby Doom. What's up, brother? What do you think of my stand-in? You see that? That's my screensaver for when I go do other things, and all my haters. You know, I got all these haters, so I figure I'm gonna run a 24-hour live stream on this channel, and then when I go to sleep and stuff, I'm gonna hit this button, and then we got a photo of me standing in, so you know people like Monty will come on and they'll friggin' rage against their computer. They'll think I'm awake 24 hours a day, man. It's gonna drive them nuts. Case Smalls will be praying church this Sunday, saying their prayers that my live stream goes down. So Doom, I was wondering, buddy. Yeah, so my question is, because you did that international call today, you know, and or maybe it was yesterday, but when you called Lift the Veil, I know you guys are one day ahead over there, or at least 12 hours. So sometimes at night you're the next day. But I know when I called Craig Sawyer, it cost me $50 in long distance because I called him 3 times. You know, and these people say that we don't care about kids, and you know, I mean, I spend my own money. It costs me for I waste money, and there's no recompense. But I just thought it's a little balance to show that you know if you it's the right thing to do, and if it costs $10, you don't think about it, and then you get your phone bill and you realize, oh, it was $50 in phone bills to call these jokers. So just a little point, you know, to show that people care. You don't have to pay me to make me care. Uh, I care on my own. I spend my own money to care. That's what caring's about. And I'm sure calling from England or from Scotland or from Ireland or from anywhere overseas is not cheap, man, because everybody wants their money. So let's see. I got the pop-out chat over here. I got Jason Goodman running his drills. We got the... So, yeah, so this... Let me ask you a question, Doom. Yeah, you're gonna get your phone bill. You're gonna realize, oh shit, calling this guy cost $20, or calling and leaving 3 messages for it ain't no. Now I just use my other phone. It has unlimited long distance between North America. It's a voice over IP, but I didn't think of it. I just used my cell phone to do it, and it cost me an arm and a leg. But whatever. Okay, you called about 20 times, and I hope you didn't get an answering machine every time, because it'll probably be about, they have some connection fee of $2, and then it's so much a minute after, so. But that's what's out there, and was commendable of you. And I think it's good that your approach, that you're not too argumentative, and you say your part, and then you let them explain themselves, or don't, but you know, it's important because of the way that they're taking this stance that we're bullies, and that we don't care about children and stuff like that. Well, that's not the case. So just be mindful that that's the branding that they're trying to give us. So you don't want to be too argumentative. You want to allow them to just explain in their own words, or make other videos in their own words, digging their own graves, and point that out. That's why I don't really, I use a lot of the people's videos saying what, because that's what people want to hear in their own words. They don't want to hear me say what they were saying. That's hearsay. You want to see the guy's face move and the words come out. So I like that video. Did you see that video by what truth community? where he kind of like put in Lift the Veil's name and Random Rants Orion instead of ours. It was friggin' funny. Yeah, Vonderloo. So basically, I set up a little spoof over here because this is the Alex Jones InfoWars channel here. So now when I do this, boom, I go like this, boom, that's my stand-in double. Now I can sleep. People like K Smalls, Monty, they're hating on me now. They're raging. They're hitting their keyboards. Nothing's happening, man, because it's just my photo. It's a manual screensaver over there. So I got that angle covered. And basically in the last stream, what happened, well, it wasn't the last one, it was the beginning of this stream. So at about 23 minutes, it froze. And then I was trying to see how to unfreeze it. But basically, if you're doing it with an iPad, you could just close the window and reopen it, and the stream stays up and it reopens refreshed. But it took me a while to learn that. And at the same time, I was saying I wanted to leave it running like that and see if I would get like 1,000 views, being that I had this stupid title. But hey, after 15 minutes, I guess everybody got tired of sitting in the chat with the thing dialing here, so they just they went away. Now they're back. So yeah, like let's say I start drinking, I'm over here, I'm having a few drinks, or let's say I'm pulling a I'm having a little adult time. I just hit this button here, boom, adult time, boom, there he is. I'm looking good, I'm fresh and clean, not breaking any terms of service, we're nice to everyone, and the trolls are gonna be like, this guy, friggin', he's got braces now, that's it, man, they're gonna get furious when they see this photo, man, they're gonna rage. Yeah, it won't be long, but I honestly, it's been a weird 2 weeks, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So, you know, it was like a freight train, man. I was coming down the highway, and, frig, man, I was bouncing friggin' veterans out of the way and all kinds of stuff, right? But not war veterans of LARP. And, then all of a sudden, I got the signal, man. Hey, why are you doing that? Maybe you're the reason that's the way this is, because you're always fighty with those same people. So I was like, so I chilled out and tried to see what's going on, what's the new sentiment of the internet. And it didn't look pretty from what I saw over the last 3-4 days, folks. So basically, China the Three's become the problem again in the tooth department, and all the I don't know what you want to call, the people that do borderline criminal behavior, with respect to harassment and stuff. I make videos about people. I'm not criminally harassing people. I'm not bringing up people's families and nonsense like that and trying to hurt people emotionally. I am trying to stop people from LARPing, so it is painful for them when I'm destroying their LARP character. There's a big difference in destroying someone's, family members and stuff like that. So, good old, my old friends from the TOOF movement. Remember about 6 weeks ago, folks, I said, like, you know what, man, I'm sick of all you people, man. Like, when they tried to launch this VOP thing, and I just saw, like, all these different people looking at me like, huh, what? I was like, what do you mean, what? What do you mean, what? This is the 5th year in a row these clowns have fucking come with another bullshit, and you guys are all pumping it like it's the truth. Excuse my language. So, I'm gonna try to be a good, wholesome channel for all these wholesome people on YouTube. But yeah, so being that being that when you're a one man show, you always got to be aware of what's going on around you. And for some reason, the sentiment, everything got flippity all of a sudden around. I guess it was around about 2 weeks ago. So I've been laying low, seeing what's going on, and I guess I'm out of the loop. I guess you know, people have turned another cheek and they've been forgiven. And so I just looking in on the outside, and I'm just saying, going back to my point of how 6 weeks ago I said I don't want to be in the truth movement anymore. I don't like, I don't mind up for people and stuff, and I don't want to see people abused, around me and not say anything. But I'm glad that not one of these people is really my friend. Like, they all don't really like me. All the veterans of TWOOF. Because, you know, I mean, there's only one TWOOF movement. It's all the same people. And you either get on board with them or you just struggle the whole time and have garbage kind of experience on YouTube. So now that I've already been through that, I'm not willing to just not tell anyone that's what happened to me. So that's why you see I'm here. And as these other people are, I guess, rebranding themselves as wholesome YouTubers, like a sheriff or a janitor or something, like a wholesome character, not like a psychopath, well, I'm the last to find out, so I'm just seeing how things turn out. And, people, honestly, I'm no different than anyone else. Probably the best I could hope for from all this craziness is that the madman and all the crazy people that did all of this and do all the crazy stuff online remove that. And so I guess that's it. That's it. If that happened, I guess I would be a lot. It would be pretty darn. Would be a pretty big step. So, dude, I've never ever had any kind of a positive response from those people that do that kind of stuff. So, the story has not changed. Anyone that's friends with the ex-Illuminati on YouTube is gonna have problems. Period, man. Period. Until the day he retires permanently from natural causes. And I don't care how much everybody wants to worship him and want his character to come back and how many music videos he puts out. You'll see. I'm here. I'm still here. And nothing's changed for me. All these people are like, oh, YouTube this, YouTube that. Why can't I? YouTube's always been like this. It's actually always been like this, but you just didn't really know who all these people were 3-4 years ago because they hadn't been like on video saying exactly what they're up to for the last 3 years. So now it's like a simple kind of thing. So I ain't in the tooth movement, says Scooby Doo. Oh, Vonderloo, there she is. Let's give a shout out to Scooby Doo and Vonderloo channel. Yeah, wonderful channel, especially if you want to get some good, interesting perspectives on things that have nothing to do with what everyone else is kind of following on a regular. Check out Vonder's channel. Yeah, and you know, guys, it's very funny. Well, the thing I find the funniest on YouTube is that these channels that have 13,000 subscribers and 15,000 subscribers, like you'll notice, like if this platform was any way not rigged, I can promise you that's not a lot of subscribers. So it's funny to hear people that are in multi-channel network, behind the scenes networking, and that are competing against people that they know are not networking. It's funny to hear them act as if there's not an advantage. So in the real world of YouTube PvP, yeah, this is going to be the 24/7 InfoWars live stream until InfoWars gets their channel back. We're leaving this live stream up. I'm going to try and get 1,000,000 views, and if I do, what can I say? I'm going to have to thank Alex Jones in a personal, because I figure people are going to come on, they're going to see my live, they're going to see the InfoWars stuff, they're going to see the Trump t-shirt, they're going to think I'm that guy there, what's his name there, Joe Biggs. So actually it's been cool because the last 2 weeks has been actually pretty relaxed on YouTube. People have been being nice, and it's not like been crazy town like last month. Last month was nuts, man. After the 4th of July there, whew. But yeah, no. But it is weird to have old friends and channels go around and wonder whether or not you're doing the good for the community, and then hanging out with people that are knowingly, psychotic. And I don't know how on YouTube you can go from being a psycho to being a normal guy, and then psycho, and then a normal guy, and then a psycho, and a normal guy. Like, there's a big difference between me making videos clowning people, making fun of them, or like making threats that people lose their jobs. I mean, unless your job is a LARPer, and I'm not really making you lose your job, I'm just making you lose your LARP. It's just that you just have to reinvent another LARP and go over to Twitter, and you just start over, that's all. And a lot of these LARPs, these scammers, like the Lionel Nations, if they come to YouTube and they're already like too big, I don't mess with them. I don't go. I'm not gonna waste my time. I only really trouble myself with the people at Lift the Veils level, and sometimes, Pete Santilli level, sometimes Craig Sawyer level, but most of the times people like Hoax Wars levels, and around 1,000 subs, up to 15, up to 30,000 subs. Yeah, yeah. It's about the, you know, it's about the spectrum there, the bell curve. So I got a lot of potential. I could always move on. What I'm doing tonight is I got the war room up, and basically I'm gonna try and figure out psychically what is the next LARP. So now that Cappy has gone belly up, Isaac Cappy, he came, he saw, and now he just did a video where Cappy just released a video that says, "I'm not a psyops." and that's what he says in his. I mean, once someone tells you that something they found is real, like this skull is real, you know it's not a real scenario. People don't say this is I am not a psyops unless they are a psyops. Like it's just a bad habit. It's for people that aren't really good liars, like public liars. Like a politician won't say something like that. But a guy like Cappy, he's not very smart, and he's not that good of an actor. And this, I guess, is his last chance. He wants to end up like Corey Feldman, who made about a couple $100,000 for his movie off the Pizzagate crowd. And Cappy wants to do the same. But since Cappy went belly up, they're over there. I mean, maybe that's why they took Alex Jones off, because Cappy went belly up, and they just wanted to deflect from the belly up Cappy. Because Alex not going anywhere with his friggin' $20 million office equipment in photo studio journalist nonsense. Oh, oh, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Scooby's got a few questions in the comments. So one question he says, and this is a very important question because you see the T-shirts right here. He says, "Are you really gonna keep this up 24/7?" And right under he goes, "You gonna talk about gay frogs?" Yes, Keck. He will be. I might have to go into some Keck or some Q. But for now, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it sensible. Okay, no nonsense. Um, yeah, there's a lot of channels working together for the kids. So listen, if you're, I mean, I don't want to just explain to them what they're doing wrong so that then they can fix it, and then their LARP can go from being like how VOP, how his LARP was going from him going to jail for mail fraud, and he somehow turned it into a bunch of base camps, and he gave everything away, and he just pulled himself out, and he probably made a foundation, and all that money's going into a foundation, and he's protected himself from all that. So I don't want to explain to the clowns what exactly they're doing wrong that's causing them to have so much grief off the internet. But look, at a certain point, these people are going to fall back on the fact that attention is worth something. And that's what they're going to fall back on, that they were actually still helping because they were bringing attention to it. And I can guarantee you, if we didn't catch them in all these lies and we didn't hold their feet to the fire, all this money that was to write books and stuff, it would just be like, what was that clown, the gematria clown that raised money, $33,000 to do a website, and then he closed the website? Yeah. These people would just raise money and then put up a web page that's worth $50 and then just keep the money, and we're talking about $150,000. My biggest question for Random Rants of Ryan is, direct question for Ryan is, how much money have you and Honeybee and your other partner raised in this project that you're doing that's not money that you've received personally? How much have you guys raised in these foundations as a total? Like, and what's the goal that they're looking at? Are they looking to get 500,000? Are they up above 150,000? And then I can kind of judge just how bad, how far down they had fallen before us pointing it out probably saved them from turning their life to garbage. I mean, if you collect money for fake stuff and abuse the goodwill of people, I mean, you suffer, man. It's not a good way to live. Yeah, Jamin, nice to see you, buddy. And yeah, I did a good thing for everyone, and it probably cost him $20. We're gonna find out how much he spent of his own money to find out and to bring out this. And it's good that you're spending, instead of giving these super chats and saying stupid stuff, it's good that you know, it proves that we're interested to a point where it's even a burden, and it's a burden that we assume uh, on the behalf of possibly being able to help people. J-Man, what do you think of this? Boom. Now I'm undercover. In the background, anything could be happening, and you got the old screensaver. Really, it's just it's really just a photo. Alright, man, there we go. Yeah, so there's a lot of haters on, I noticed, a lot of haters on YouTube. I was telling people today, like you might notice that I never take the camera around my house and show people the things I have, and, it's not healthy to do that stuff on YouTube because of the haters. And, they really do assess your belongings and your things, and they make judgment calls, and then the real haters actually try and once they develop too good of a clear picture of you, it becomes unhealthy, because they're just unhealthy people. So I prefer, like I used to do cooking shows where I used to do honey, bee honey in the kitchen and stuff like this, but I kind of moving away from all that stuff, being that YouTube is such a volatile platform for being, I guess, for being criminally harassed. Who's the beautiful young? Oh, J-Man. I guess J-Man is a J-Man must be a woman, and she must be talking about Jason Goodman here or something. Oh, that young man. Yeah, he was a young man once upon a time. It's just a screensaver. It's to drive my haters nuts, Jamin. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be sleeping. I'm gonna have this live stream on 24/7, and I'm gonna have this screensaver up in the background. And then all my haters are gonna think I'm up. They're gonna tune in, and they're just gonna see that stupid picture again with the balloons, and they're gonna be all pissed off, man. And they're gonna go back to sleep. I got some haters that are over 60 years old, so just waking them up in the middle of the night, like it's 1 a.m. now, and so in Colorado, it's let's say it's 11. So in about 2 hours, I'll put out a video, and friggin' the phone will go off in Colorado, and they'll get out of bed, they'll drink their boost drink, and then that's it. It'll be just a stupid video about some clown on YouTube, and they'll just be like, "Oh, what a loser." But they'll watch it, they'll give me a thumbs down, they'll leave a bad comment, and then they'll go over to my live stream, and they'll hate on that, and it'll just be my photo, and I'll be sleeping. Oh, you're over in Australia. Okay, yeah. With my with one of my old favorite channels. Oh, by the way, I try not to mention too many of the channels that I like. Like, when you like channels, it's like some of the people in this truth movement are so hateful that I don't want to expose other people to that level of distrust, and it's rightfully so. Like I don't blame anyone for not trusting me. I don't want anyone to trust me or to trust anyone else. I don't, I might say, oh, I trust this person, but not that often, and I just have friends and people that I know, but they might not like me, and if they end up being scammers, I mean, they're definitely not going to try and be my friend, because people have seen that even if I'm friends with a person, if they're a scammer, I still rat them out. So I'm not like a team player for duping other people. Like, I'm not gonna get involved in that shit. I'm not gonna spend. I'm not gonna waste 6 years on YouTube so that I can walk away being known as a sellout or a person that sold other people out. And I know there's, you know, yeah, it's nice to have money from YouTube. God bless, man. So monetize, and if you get money, God bless you. But it's not as easy as you think. If you have charisma, and it's you gotta be on board, or you know, or be very very kind to everyone, and try not to upset anybody. And if you don't upset anybody, then you'll have less problems. But for me, I'm not. I'm not gonna join these clowns as their ships are sinking. I'm sure they're gonna pull this around the clown show. They're gonna turn it upside down. Honestly, I'm not gonna join them now that I've exposed them all. I mean, that's just a retarded way to think. That why would I be joining these people after I finished exposing them for the last 6, 8 weeks? So now I'm gonna join them and friggin' go down in the sinking ship with them. I mean, they could barely even get any traction. They're like, I turned like, whatever, turned the Illuminati into Pete Santilli. Sure did. And YouTube got so quiet that I barely even made any videos this weekend. I made one video about honeybee, and or two. A video about Alex Jones. Whew. Yeah, trust ain't earned, it's given. So now I'm gonna go with the Dabu 7 look. So that my haters don't hate. So what's Jamin, what's the big story over there in Oz? I know that you guys have a different kind of social media experience going on. It's not quite as evolved as the American version. I know over in America, where I've been kind of observing this evolve from Twitter, and I mean before even Snapchat was even a friggin' website. I've been seeing this devolution of social media, and how it went from being a practical way to communicate with people to pure madness. Like, I mean, I'm ready to call YouTube basically an insane asylum, and I'm happy that I didn't. I mean, I didn't go insane. I mean, if I talk to people that aren't on YouTube, they definitely think you're insane when you start talking about these characters and stuff and these people and QAnon and Pizzagate and this one and that one, and People look at you and they're just like, after, I mean, if you don't realize what other people are thinking, you keep talking about it. But the real world, this YouTube story is 100% social experiment, 100% whatever experience I'm having on YouTube, whatever experience I have, it will be rewritten as something else, because my individual experiences is not something that is permanent, you know. So everything that I experienced can be erased and rewritten and undone, and anything that I do or say on this website is erased and undone. So I've already learned from experience that it's not what people believe. Like, they think they get some servers that they in Langley, and they hold all the information, and your information is like written in stone. No, no. Actually, if you make too many comments, if you go around and just make comments on people's channels and bother with them, you'll likely lose your channel for bullying. Like, it's become a place where people can, you know, I guess they can First Amendment you out of business. You know, they can claim their First Amendment supersedes your First Amendment, and then they just make complaints until you go bye-bye. So, Jamin, don't I know you from Perth Observer channel? She one of my favorite channels, man. I remember the good old days we used to be covering that stupid dam there, the Orville Dam. Yeah, and it was gonna blow, and we probably saved a friggin' million people's lives from making those videos and making, man, Orville Dam, friggin', they got so nervous from all the bad publicity they were getting off YouTube. They pretty much fixed the damn dam, and they evacuated people, and they did all kinds of stuff because of our YouTube channels. But you see, I was friends with Perth Observer with my other channels before they erased them, and basically what happens is as I go around the internet, you know, I know what a good creator is. I can see, because I can see something amazing and something different that they do, and I can point it out. And what happens is when I go around and I find these channels, and I tell them how cool I think they are, well, for some, you know, I don't know if it's through my activity monitor or something, but somehow my haters get to realize, you know, that I like this channel, or that this is a channel that I'm nice to, and then they either go and try and make them upset with me, or just straight up not nice to them. So, you know, I remember that I felt bad because I had so many haters, and then, you know, I was friends with Perth Observer, and then all of a sudden she started getting trolled by those stupid Orwell Dam guys, and then that's why a lot of times I don't talk to some people, and I just don't chat on their videos and stuff, and I still appreciate them, is because I don't want to attract. I think when I write comments, sometimes in my comments, other people that are following me can see my comments. So if they don't like, you know, who I'm commenting to, or want to cause strife, they go over there and, frig, I don't wish this mental, you know, like when people gaslight you, I don't wish this on anybody. It's freaking, it's very wicked, folks. That's why I stand up against it, is because I experienced it, and I know that if I was a regular person, I would have already quit YouTube, for sure. Oh, we don't get LARPs here. Where's Scooby at? Scooby, you in Belfast? Yeah, 'cause in Belfast they got they got real bombs and real, well, they had that whole living with bombings for 20 or 30 years. But yeah, I always say we're lucky to be in Canada because it's only 300, 400 years old. America too, whereas over in, in Europe and stuff, it's it's pretty much already parceled out. So you have to just, you know, be part of the system no matter what. Whereas in Canada, there's so much free land. You could just go out in the forest and live there, and nobody would ever see you again. But nobody does that. Everybody wants to live in a city, so the forests are pretty much owned by the crown land. They're owned by the Queen. The Queen owns all the forests in Canada, and all the forest animals are her animals. So don't worry, Scooby. You don't have it that bad. At least, I mean, she sends Prince Charles over here all the time to pretend like he's the king of Canada, and the guy looks like he has rickets. I mean, the guy's. I think it's illegal to talk bad about the royal family when you're Canadian, but I mean, they look like jokers. Hermits. Yeah, well, I don't blame anyone for being a recluse. You know, honestly, it's a very, very gamed system, and going out if you live in a big city, it's almost like a pay as you go every time you leave your house. So you got to just be careful that you don't end up going and it's not a joke. It's not like the good old days where people stop and help you. So, Vonder, what's been going on? Well, I've been laying low this weekend. Anything crazy that you saw that you might want to point out that I could go refresh on? Because I finally watched Freddy's stream, that one with the priest there with the three religions, and yeah, I was pretty amazed. The amazing part about the warlock was that he's against the Masonic takeover of the internet, and at the same time, it seems like he's seeking approval from the Illuminati of the internet, which is basically the Illuminati is basically the Masons. So, anyways, we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe he's just trying to, be friends with everybody at the same time. A lot of people tell me that. They're like, oh, yeah, no. I just, usually they're like, yeah, no, I just want to be his friend. I don't want him to be mad at me. So, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so the last part of that long stream, I missed it a bunch of times too. And so he's been going around for the last 2 weeks saying that I'm actually part and parcel, or anyways, I don't know exactly what he's saying, so I won't put any words in his mouth. But he's been giving some. He's been, I guess, how do you say that? Those you give pointers of a sense that he has distrust for me. The warlock, the Banzai warlock. The Banzai warlock believes that there's but I guess you gotta be careful on YouTube how people are saying things and then how you interpret them, whether or not they're saying what you interpret and so on, because there is a lot of damn trolls on, and it's true that it's smart when people just totally ignore. Like, if what I usually do is, if a person doesn't make content, I ignore them. Like, I don't allow them to troll me, and I don't troll or make videos against people that don't really make videos, because there's no point in a comment section arguing. That's not YouTube. Well, YouTube for the trolls, but that's why I just avoid it. I don't even talk to them. So, but other channels that have been around for, like, a long time, and that I've known a long time, when they speak out against you, or they put you into the category and speak out, it just kind of friggin', it's a time to reflect, and that's what you do. You look over, you look at this, you look at that, but it's like, hey man, it's a crazy place. I call it an insane asylum, so I certainly ain't gonna put all my eggs in any basket that anyone would come to bat for me, or that anyone, and I don't need anyone to protect me, man. I'm the king of friggin' YouTube. Ask around. But so I've been taking it easy, but I saw that video on Freddy's stream, and it made me say, what the hell is going on now? This is just getting weird. So I'm just letting, I guess I'll figure it out. Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, over here too, J-Man. Is that what the Johos are? Yeah, they're religious. When you start talking about religion on your streams, it drives people nuts, eh? And I mean, people that come to your stream, they're like, oh man, it's one of these ones. And then they just, not really a, it's not really a party, it's like a party pooper. They're talking about that stuff. It's like in the 80s how talking about abortion, one way or the other was enough to make everyone want to hate each other, and everything went nowhere. So now that nowadays, it's pro everything demonic. So yeah, now religion's the new topic of controversy. That the religions have been weaponized, and basically everyone's sitting there, and they all have their own points to argue from, and the points are obviously they come up against each other. So you have people that get to these argumentative states, and that's why I just kind of like, I'm just happy if people are religious and they're good people. And hell, I'm definitely not on YouTube to fix anyone religiously. That's not any kind of mission that I was put forward on YouTube for. I'm on YouTube for very realistic goals. Basically, I'm on YouTube. Been here for a while. It's never changed. My raison d'être sur YouTube is basically, I'm the original reporter of the reporters. That's all I do. Basically, I got my start on YouTube by reporting on Pete Santilli. Simple as that. I did a few videos on the burns on the Bundy Malheur Wildlife Refuge bogus, and then when Pete tried to extend his career, I put him out of business for LARPing. He still has all his camera equipment and all his stuff, and he's still making his live streams. It's not the same when you come back and do it after you've been busted for doing terrible things to people for 2 years. Because Pete Santilli got away with a lot of junk, man. He got away with stuff. Even Perth Observer knows Pete Santilli back pre 2014 from when he was doing the Truckers March. Because she was actually, a lot of people get involved in these things, and then the people that rip them off make everyone look bad, or it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Trust me, if you're involved in one of these projects and they raise $60,000 for gas money, and then the gas money disappears the night before, that's some demonic people, man. So you only have to do that 2 or 3 times, and everything happened the same way. And I mean, it's not just one person, but if the same person is always around holding the PayPal password, well then, if the PayPal is going into said person's PayPal, and then that PayPal information is given to Pete Santilli, and then the money goes missing, well, it's likely that's just part of how they were decided to disrupt that organization at the last minute. Was the disruption was, okay, pull it, let's take the money. Yeah, well, unfortunately, keeping people detached generationally is really important, and that's why you have all these, um, I guess, questionable practices being taught to young people by what should be elders that would never teach them these things, but they're being taught by the schools and stuff. So the young people are gonna have it rough when they gotta undo all that mental damage. But yeah, oh Jamin, yeah, bless, man. It's my pleasure. Oh, there's the cholos, the cholo Rani. Yeah, there's my friend. And obviously we have a lot of disagreement. You see, I haven't been following Truth Convoy. I haven't been following her for quite some time. And when I do go over it, I look over, I see there's a more peaceful Truth Convoy doing really amazing videos where she's kind of like, she's not using people's names. She's making it sound a bit vague, but obviously, bar talk, or she's visiting a ship, or it's a pirate boat, or it's this thing, or it's that thing. And I like this new way that she's finding to do YouTube, because everybody knows what she's talking about. And what the trolls try and do is trigger you, so that you say and do the wrong things, and then they always just make complaints until and friggin' get you triggered and then busted. So it's good to stay one step ahead of them. And yeah, I notice you still get automatic 7 thumbs down, but I also notice that it seems like you're having less hate, which I hope, man. That's all I could hope for. I mean, it's not even good for me to help you, or for you to like me. You liking me causes them to hate you more, and to gaslight you towards me. And I'm always on YouTube, so once they start telling you I'm a bad guy or this or that, you're afraid to start watching all my content. You might turn out like Laz and start thinking that I'm part of the problem. So yeah, I try and just allow you to do your thing. And it is kind of weird, because it's like people see them do these crazy acts and then forgive them and take them as just a regular person, even though they're like a psychopath avatar. So I'm happy that if your YouTube experience is a little bit better, mine is from not seeing you suffering. And as for me not saying the right things, or not seeing eye to eye, well, that's gonna happen. And I don't want to. I'm not interested in arguing with other YouTube creators that are struggling against the same people that caused me to struggle. Yeah, yeah, I try, and the hardest part about teaching people on YouTube, you just gotta friggin' you just gotta lay it all on the table, man, and then you lead by example, and then you just when after all the cards fall, because all these people are lying the whole time and telling this info, and they're all working together trying to make you look stupid. And once all of them start making, they all look stupid all together all of a sudden, and there's a big point, and then everybody realizes that it's not you, even though they were all saying it was you. It's you're the problem, you're the one, you're this, you're that. But then once people realize, because they're all telling lies, and they realize that they're shysters and fibbing and likely, and then they realize it's not you, and then people are happy afterwards. But there's never a time when you can stop a person and stop them from believing, or stop another YouTube creator that gets upset. You can't stop them from making videos about you, especially if you make videos about other people. I mean, I have to just grin and bear it and think, even the people that I help, sometimes they get upset with you, and then sometimes you don't agree with what these people say, and they don't agree with what you say. It's kind of cool if it doesn't, you know, ruin, just every part of the friendship, or every part of a friendship. But sometimes it does, and then sometimes it works out. In the end, if people are like, because I'm way advanced in the in this whole manipulation thing on YouTube, and coming over from Twitter and following all these from off of Facebook, and then in 2012 on Twitter, and then on YouTube in 2012, 2014. So I kind of followed as the websites were changing. So other people are just, they might be at a point where they've been watching news, or they've been watching Alex Jones, and then they're coming to terms with some of the manipulation, and they're seeing some of it. And you can't rush people to see things that are, that's part of the imagination, is that people have to want to see. So it's a wonderful thing that if I helped Truth Convoy see a few things and see that the manipulation goes so far deep, the best part about that is that I think it'll help give you a calming feeling over the ones that are abusing you, because then you start to see, oh, okay. And then once you understand how they abuse you, people can't abuse you if you know how to push in your buttons and what they're doing, and how they're doing all these things. So that's it. And as for Lady Court, there's another one of my favorite channels, because I always like meeting these interesting people that follow me and don't turn out to be raging lunatics. They actually turn out to be kind-hearted people and good people, and then it's a blessing, because if you only have raging lunatics following you, and people that aren't, soft-spoken and stuff, then it's just a reflection of me as a person, that I don't attract that kind of audience, and so maybe I'm not that type of person. So whenever I see someone nice in the audience, or someone calm, or someone that's intelligent, that has read a lot of books, I mean, a friggin' master's degree, Jesus, or if you just could be a teacher. So yeah, I'm real blessed, and having good subscribers and intelligent people causes me to make better content, and not like be whacked, like go right off like I used to go nuts back in 2015 and 16. I was talking about sex robots and Lavoy Finicum living in a cave and being a sex slave, and I would just go off on this stuff. But now I'm like, yeah, yeah, well, you don't have to hear a lot about a person, but obviously on YouTube there's so much phony baloney people that you just have to want to do the right thing. And in my book, I mean, you could be doing the wrong thing and just want to do the right thing, and I'm gonna friggin' you're gonna be better in my book than a lot of people. So this is all the direction we're going, and everybody, like I said, everybody's at different levels, and like it's funny because Money Moth there, my friend Money Bee, she was like, she makes a video. You notice they don't say China the Three because they don't want me to make no dub plates with them singing my name. But yeah, it's like she's like, he's been after me for a year. That other girl, like what is it? Simply that other one, Simply Susan or something like that. She's even worse than Money Bee in this tree of Pizzagate pushers, pumpers, pedo pumpers. And the reason I say that is because she was like at the core. When Pizzagate came out on YouTube, I could tell who the core people were. And some people were just actors, and then other people were like Bad Guacamole was like a bouncer. And Simply, whatever her name is there, she was very confident. And the problem with working networked with other people behind the scenes and then doing like taking down other people's channels is that you get like this, you get this air about you that you believe that you can do amazing things on YouTube and that you can. And then a person like me, myself, number one, because I'm psychic. Yeah, Truth Convoy, you like that? Pedo Pumpers. I was hashtagging for new hashtags to rebrand the Pizzagate crowd, so Pedo Pumpers is one of them that I got. And, but, yeah, as for rebranding the Pizzagate, I think they did that themselves. They pretty much rebranded themselves to be toxic on YouTube. So, yeah, and as for, my good old Money Moth, it's like, number one, I would never ever make any kind of threats of harm to any woman. Forget it. Like even the craziest girl that I ever met on YouTube. I mean, I didn't threaten to harm her. I don't. There's no room in our society for a grown man to be thinking about harming women or men. I mean, men, it's not abnormal if you think of, if you get to a point you're upset, whatever. Men have this imbalance, or genetically men and men do have these kind of, reflections, but it's not something that they take it up on. And it's definitely, if you're sitting there thinking about beating up girls, you got a mental problem, man. It's not, you shouldn't be on YouTube. You should deal with your mental problem first and then come back to YouTube. That's just my opinion. So, number one, there's never any threat of harm. Maybe someone else, the Pizzagate Canada guy with the pepperoni swastika nonsense. I mean, look, you're looking for trouble if you use stupidity as your avatar, regardless of whether it's a pizza or whether you're discrediting Pizzagate or whether you're just, I don't know, you're opening yourself up to slander from these people and striking you for bullying and for being like what she complained to the police about was that she was being criminally threatened her life so that she could make a police report. But I don't even hang around people that make threats of harm, so let's get over that. And as for being obsessed with her, not really. Not really. I probably made about 10 videos about the chick. And she's famous, and she's got pink hair. So she obviously wants to be the center of attention. So me making videos about her is probably satisfying an internal uh, quest to be seen online. That's why people that want to hide in the shadows have gray hair or black hair. They don't have pink hair. So, just to get that off the table, have no fear to all the people that watch my videos. I'm not going around threatening anyone anything bad. The only threats I'm making is to make video content about the clowny stuff that they do. So that's not harassment. That's called YouTubing. And as for being lumped into a video, you know, when they have a video and the topic of the video, like what Honeybee was doing, was like her video was exposing these creeps, the Ticini guy, and then the other guy there, the guy that was grooming the girl. And if you're 35 years old and you're talking to any girl that's 15, 16, and she ain't related to you, like I ain't a Muslim, but you gonna have problems, man. You have a disorder. I mean, that ain't normal. You've been watching too much internet garbage. Okay? So regardless if a girl that's 15 or 16 can send have a cell phone, and then her boyfriend who's 16 or 17 have a cell phone, and they send texts back together, and then they get together and they go camping in the backyard, and they you know, and they're both 17, 15 and 17, or this is all normal behavior for young people under the age of 18. Once you have a girl that's 15 and she's texting a guy that's 35, there's nothing, this is not the same laws applying any longer with Mr. Gunk. Basically, that becomes criminal intent to endanger a minor. I mean, what the hell kind of, it's not your daughter, it's not your niece, she's not in your family, and you're a grown-ass man, and you spend all your time on YouTube being a hero, and now you can't do that stuff. That's called grooming. That's illegal. You're a pervert. I mean, it's not like the girl's 18 and you're 35. I mean, it wouldn't be so terrible. I mean, I don't know what a girl that was 18 would want. Or an old dude on YouTube that spent 5-6 years on YouTube, but whatever. But 15 and 35 is 100% illegal, man. There's not even to think about it not being illegal. It means that you don't really understand that if the, I mean, someone should just tell her dad, and he'll deal with that guy, Mr. Gunk. Like, he'll call the authorities on him, because if you're the father of a 15-year-old girl, and some dude shows up in a car wanting to take your girl out to a dinner and has a credit card, I mean, that's a big problem. That guy's not going anywhere with my daughter. So, if a guy's on YouTube and he's got a YouTube channel and he's 35 years old, and girls that are 15 are talking to him, That's one thing. And he's treats her like a sister or whatever. Not no private conversations and text messages to each other's phones. I mean, that's criminal shit, man. And it's his own problem. There's no man that I know that would do that. There's only pedophiles that do that kind of shit. And he's not a bad in the worst sense of the idea, because I'm not talking about the sickness of children, because she's a minor. But it's still endangering a minor. Anyone under 16, I mean, even if they look around 16, if they look, it's not even, you don't even have to have their ID. If they look around these ages, that's what the laws say. It's not how old they are. It's how old they are and look. So if a girl's like 17 and she looks 14, you're gonna get charged with 14. You're gonna get charged with those 17. And that's why a lot of these people, what they do is they'll look a certain way, and then you'll get arrested, and then they'll come to court, and it'll look like dressed totally different in another way. Yeah, well, there's a whole racket for that too in some parts of the world where deservedly so, but there's all this kind of demonic sex tourism. So, my personal opinion of Honeybee is that it's bigger problem than her, and that she's obviously not come clean fast enough, and they're not really understanding the gravity of the problem. But that the Cheney guy, he's a sicko. I mean, that is a pure pedo, because the kid was younger than. Then it's a boy, and it's a sickness, man. This is a mental. To loop me in with the conversation with those two guys, and then to say I'm the mega troll, and that my buddy over here and this one over there, they're the terrible people. Well, let me tell you, that made me take a week off YouTube, because that was pretty garbage. But that's what YouTube's about. Is that part and parcel. These people do push that kind of stuff on you. They do try and get people to hate you in all kinds of sick ways. And most people don't come here for that. Yeah. So yeah, Lady Court is a intelligent person, and obviously just with that age, 35, 15, I mean, there's no justifying that with laws that a 16-year-old might have to protect, or a 14-year-old, and a 17-year-old. Those laws are different than the laws that, they exclude minors and adults. This law is not a transferable law where one could be an adult. No, it's only for minors. It's for kids that are under, like, if you're 16, you're not going to go to jail if you sleep with another girl or with another kid that's 16. There's no problem for the laws. I mean, you're not supposed to for the laws, but they're not going to put you in jail. But yeah, adults. Well, it's not the same law for two kids, and so that's where they're getting it confused on purpose. Is they're referring to that as being, it's really sick to hearing them talk about it, how one could be related to the other, or one could be comparable to the other. So it's like a Viking ship on fire with a bunch of dead bodies sailing off down the Nile. I mean, it smells like burning bodies from here. Titus Frost, Random Rants Orion, and Honey Monkey, or Monkey Bee. Um, they're all in. I guess they're in total recovery mode. Hey Adelaide, what's up, yo? Well, let me make some more people here. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. I like it when I get the do do do. Ah, yeah. All my friends. So on Cappy's Inferno, I did a video about the Cappy show, and we all recognize that Truth Inferno, which has been the main channel putting out all this Cappy stuff, this is like John 919 when VOP came out. What they do is these channels are a bit like Lift the Veil, but they're more embedded. And all these channels, there's a thing that says business opportunity contact. And if you're involved in like networking, they're all involved with the same money program, which is basically all these channels that are networked. You can offer them money and they will allow you to come on their show. And that's, I believe, what happened with Truth Inferno is basically somehow he's launching all these videos out on YouTube. Like all the Cappy videos are launched by Truth Inferno. And you notice how Cappy said that he talked to the Cicada group before he came onto YouTube. So it was like, yeah, I used to have braces. So, so it was kind of funny how the Cappy story, Cappy is definitely involved with the Cicada group to launch onto YouTube, because that's what he admitted in the Lift the Veil interview, is that he talked to the Cicada guy, and then Nate was saying, oh, you talked to Thomas and Ray. So just that alone, like, listen, if you got something and it's in your head and it's going viral, you ain't coming to YouTube and finding out to go talk to Thomas, some guy that I turned up after busting uh, DeFango for almost 16, 18 months. Then DeFango rats out Thomas, and then we all become to each other. And this guy Cappy's coming to YouTube and he's calling Thomas direct and talking to him, and that's their media guy. No, kids. So this Truth Inferno is, maybe involved with the Cicada group. Who knows? Maybe he's his own channel. Maybe he's got 15,000 subs. So he's someone. And I always just, I notice the channels that are doing it, and then I stay around, and then you'll see in like 2 or 3 weeks, he'll be posting some Christian bogus nonsense, and then like all of a sudden, he'll put something out, and I'll know that'll be the next LARP. Like I'll watch that channel, and because I see that he's putting out the Cappy stuff before everyone else. Do you know what I'm saying, folks? So once I start to see one of these channels where they're like sourcing this information, well then for me, I just watch that channel and I watch that operator, and then usually it's just a voice, like a computer simulated voice, and the person doesn't show themselves. But over time, they acknowledge. Usually, if it's a channel with 15,000 subs, there's a person involved. It's hard to be a channel with that many subs and just be a simulated voice. Yeah, well, J-Man, and by the way, girls, J-Man's not a man, he's a lady. So we'll call her J. Yeah, well, listen, Nathan's not really responsible for anything, because he's nobody really wants to work with him that deep that he's involved. He's just got a YouTube channel, and they keep trying to bounce stuff off of him, and he keeps saying, yeah, I can handle the job, yeah, give it to me, I'll run with it, here, Cappy, no problem. And I mean, as soon as he comes out with the stuff, he's almost as bad as Richie from Boston now. Like, people are just watching Lift the Veil to see what scammer he's gonna bring on next, to know what the next scam's gonna be. So I doubt, J-Man, that the Alex Jones thing is anything but an orchestrated. For whatever reason, Alex Jones every 2 or 3 years likes to kind of reset his audience, and he likes to do a pivot, and he likes to discard like 50,000 viewers that are now, they don't believe him anymore, and they don't believe anything the government told them. And then he wants you to go over to YouTube and then to deal with YouTube with that attitude. And then he goes off and he does stuff that, and then he brings in, I think he's trying to bring in now a little bit more of a right line, you know, with the Trump and with all this stuff, and Alex Jones has become a lot political, you know, since the last elections. Like, you remember he was going around with that Clinton shirt like he's a rapist, and all this Pizzagate stuff. This is all Alex Jones production. It was all brought out around the elections. Like, don't forget, guys. I mean, the spirit cooking and all this stuff. And Clinton was involved in eating babies and trafficking kids. And down the street, the FBI bookshop. And then she had a place. And then all these organizations that all checked out to be on the little FBI list of possible logos for pedophilia. This is all a production created by Alex Jones to friggin' help them in the elections. And they let it die down, and now for some reason they're trying to bring it back up this summer, and it's bombing miserably. I'm so happy. I mean, if they would have came up with a new LARP, I wouldn't have known so easily. Well, I would have known because all the same people would have started talking about something new all at the same time together. So, I mean, these guys are not that clever. You know, all their LARPs go over really good in the boardroom, you know, where they're all in agreement with each other. Yeah, this is going to work. Yeah. Alex is going to bounce that off there, and then we're going to send that up here, and then we'll get it over from Facebook, and then this guy will come over here. We'll do this show. And then by the time it gets to step 2 on YouTube, it's like they're winging it. And they're using B-rated actors, and some people aren't even actors. They're just like Corey Feldman and Isaac Cappy are in the same boat. They're friends. They're from the same school of acting. You know, professional grown men that live in Hollywood area probably, and that are aspiring actors. And that they're not well received. Nobody wants them in their movies. So they end up coming, like, Corey Feldman is pretty much like, he looks like I mean, not how he looks, but he acts as if he's diminished. Like he's a little bit slow from his abuse. But that's just me. So, the sinking of Alex Jones. Oh, Truth Convoy is going to put up a next video. And so, Jamin's from Australia. And you know, Truth Convoy, a good thing to know is that the people in the different continents, you know, like Australian and UK, they have a different experience with social media. So they're all, you know, Americans are very, they're immersed in this YouTube because it's been in America since its inception. But YouTube only really became something for other countries and stuff where they could upload when we went to high speed, you know what I mean? And we started with these 3G, 4G networks. Like, the cell phone and the smartphone is, we're talking 2008, right? So it's only been 10 years since the smartphone. So there's oftentimes a huge gap between the UK crowd, usually further advanced in the depth and the tradition of some of these storylines. And then in Australia, people are usually a lot more laid back, and but it's easy to get lost in our own stories and to think that everybody's at the same speed. So it's nice to go on and yeah, in Australia's people are wonderful. They're real friendly, man. I love their accent, and the kangaroos are freaking amazing. So Truth Convoy, you did a video, the sinking of Alex Jones, and what do you think? Is it Jason Goodman's fault? I think it's orchestrated. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna flush out a bunch of Q channels that they couldn't get rid of, and that the people are still making money, and that they're trying to get rid of this Q and start another LARP because the Q LARP has been proven to be false information and a scam. So you can't keep running with the same garbage information. Even though little offsets of Q are still blooming, I mean, once they get to, that's the whole thing about the internet. Like, eventually these people are going to feel so stupid that they're going to be very upset with the people that are duping them. And so they know that this Q thing is going to quickly become toxic. And so I think they're going to get rid of all these channels that do 100,000 views on Q. And they got a couple in Canada too. They got a couple in the States. And then I think what Alex Jones is gonna do is he's gonna come back with his channels and gain like a whole bunch of subscribers, but he's gonna have like different kind of programming going on where, you know, he's got these different shows, the War Room, he's got the Trump show, this show, that show. So I think it's gonna be more like that, you know, where he's gonna have. This is usually what Alex Jones does is that he gets taken down, and he comes back with 10 times more channels, like in one day. Like, they're gonna put back his channel, and then everything's gonna be Alex Jones. Instead of just having 5 channels, he's gonna have 15. And then, you know, it's not really a takedown if as soon as you put your new channels back on, you have 1 million subs, and that YouTube puts him in the recommended for everybody. So that's what I think this is. I think it's just a marketing ploy, you know, to make it look like they got Alex Jones and now they're going to get Trump next because Alex Jones was Trump's guy. And it's a political garbage, and Alex Jones is part of the political machine now. Millions of dollars are being thrown at Alex Jones in the same way that lobbyists get money. Yeah, you see, Adelaide's just finding out they took down. Hey, morning, Rach. Here, I had that's my screensaver, so that if I'm falling asleep or something, and I could just put on this screensaver, and then all my haters will think I'm doing 24/7 live streams, and they'll come in and rage on me because I'm gonna leave this stream up for until Alex Jones comes back. This is the dump Trump until we get Alex Jones back stream. And I know some people like Trump, and you know what? For those people, I really don't dislike. I don't have any reason to dislike him. I'm not even American. He's no more or less a clown than Clinton or Bush or Trudeau or the Mulroney or that other Harper clown that just left Canada. They all are just basically they're people that the masses believe enough that when they say that it's going to be this way, that people are just like, okay, yeah, well, it's been said, and that's all it is. It's so I don't dislike Trump, and I don't follow him, you know, because I got Truth Convoy in here. She might be a Trump supporter, you know. God bless, man. Good follow. She might be a Q supporter because of a different way that she was getting her information from Q, right from the source of this actual squad that rolls around the Roy Potter group. So I mean, everyone's on different levels, man. I'm not. I'm letting everyone develop their own theories. I don't even care about any of the trauma simulations events from the past. Whether whether whoever, everyone's gonna learn at their own pace, and me, that's why I'm not gonna get caught up in all the old stuff. I'm gonna focus on the new stuff, and as long as I finish the new stuff, like if something new comes out, and I and I make it noticeably not viral, it's a lot easier to do with something that's not already entrenched. Once they start getting 100 websites putting out Q stuff, I mean, I look stupid arguing about Q when there's 200 comments under a video and they're all positive about how Q's saving the world, and then I go in there and say, grow up, kids. I mean, it's not getting that much traction, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. INFOWARS and Do. Yeah, well, INFOWARS is definitely involved with this Cappy clown. And then INFOWARS is weird lately, because just like the VOP clown, Pui Louie, he came out and INFOWARS backed him. And then at the last minute, they were like, he went crazy, and then they pulled out, and then they started saying he was a nut. So, I don't know if INFOWARS is asking for too much money or too much of the pie, and all these Shylarks are Shylarking them and just going off. Once it starts going viral, they just run off with their foundation and take money in the woods, and they don't care because, you know, maybe Alex was trying to take all the money and they were only going to be able to cash out in vitamin supplies. So, I wouldn't want to do any business with Alex Jones. He seems like not a very reliable person. Like, if you can manipulate people and say one thing and be doing the opposite, like, for 10 years hard, like, harder than anyone else, I wouldn't trust that guy. No way. I mean, just like I wouldn't trust Anderson Cooper. You know what I mean? But, what do you guys think about the crowdsource the truth, the Jason Goodman, Quinn Michaels phenomenon, and how they seem to be, that a lot of people don't like them, that are all grouped together around that main group. And I'm trying to see, like, if anyone else notices that there's this weird, like, everyone hates Jason Goodman. And then, you know, Quinn Michaels, well, he's, I mean, Jason Goodman's like a cameraman guy. So he's amazing because he's technical, right? He's got all the technical background for doing this. Live streaming is very simple for him. He's used to using a bunch of cameras that use all kinds of different lenses, all kinds of weird shit for 3D. 3 cameras at the same time. The weirdness, man. So this YouTube is very easy. Here, let me reset this. So basically, when it pauses out like that, I just close it and reopen it, and then it comes back through.